American Girl, sorry. Okay, anyway, hi, my name is Denise. I just wanted to quickly just announce our guest. Does anyone know what this panel is? Okay, I'm in the wrong one, sorry. Okay, so I'm glad everyone knows where they are and everyone is excited, right? Okay, perfect. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite Caitlin Glass, Morgan Berry, Michael J. Tatum, and Chris Wakehamp.
Okay, I'm trying to set up a little Instagram live action up here, so talk to them.
Oh, that table is so bright.
Yeah, it is.
The lights just bounce off and it's like snow blindness.
Before we start, can you guys indulge me in something really quickly? I like to do this anytime I do a My Hero panel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count to 3. And at the end of that, I want you guys to give me a nice, big, loud plus ultra.
After
do that?
3? Is it 1, 2, 3 plus ultra?
1, 2, 3.
Cool.
Thank you for clarifying. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much.
And that's the panel. Good night, everyone.
Thanks for coming.
I guess, so should we start by introducing ourselves? Okay, why don't we start with you?
Sure, I'll introduce myself. Hi, I'm Caitlin Glass. I don't even need that. Y'all can hear me. I think there's a microphone up here. Hi, I'm Caitlin Glass. I'm the voice of Mina Ashido. Hey. Hi guys, I'm Morgan Berry. I'm the voice of 13, the space hero.
Hello, everyone. I'm J. Michael Tatum, and I'm the voice of Tenya Ito.
Hello, class. I'm Chris Wakehamp, and I'm the voice of Eraserhead Aizawa. So we decided backstage that probably the best thing we could do with our time, because we do have a limited time in here together, is to kind of open it up to you guys ASAP. So you can see we've got in the middle of the room, there's this mic on a stand. We assume it works, we don't know. We're going to find out soon. And so what we can do is for those who have questions, go ahead and start queuing up at that microphone right now. Consider this your official invitation. And we're going to just basically open this up to questions, and then we can certainly sort of tell stories about our time with My Hero Academia, our characters in My Hero Academia, our impressions of what the fandom's like, questions that you have about stuff you've thought of with the show. One thing I will say, let's try to avoid spoilers as much as we can, given that we are in the middle of season 4 right now. And yeah, we can kind of just go from there. So look at these brave souls that we have.
All 3 of you.
Yeah. The Trailblazers.
What's your name?
Joseph.
Joseph.
Hello, Joseph.
I just want to know, what was your guys' favorite scene to record in My Hero Academia?
Favorite scene to record in My Hero Academia? All right.
Whoa, what's that?
It was a ghost. This room's haunted.
Michael, it's my fault. It's my fault. Okay, favorite scenes. My favorite scene, it's more an episode, is the episode where all the kids are moving into the dorm. And they've moved in, and Mina decides it would be a great idea for everyone to share what their rooms look like. Really, she's just nosy. And she just wants to know. And what I'm amazed at is everyone's room is clean. Yeah. All of them.
It's like they prepared for
They
it.
haven't been there long enough.
I guess so. Yeah, they moved in and everything's all decorated. Exactly. But I really love that episode. It's the most that Mina has ever talked in any episode until then. And then it was just a lot of fun to do.
Nice. So favorite scene that we've recorded?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I really like the scene where 13 is telling them, be a real hero, you know, don't do it for the love of fame or money, you know, do it to help people and to rescue people. It's very admirable, and I love that. I love all that 13 stands for. So I thought that was beautiful.
I have two favorite scenes. One of them is the Stain arc, the alleyway scenes, which I won't go into detail for those of you that haven't seen it, but I don't know why you wouldn't have by now, but if you haven't, please. But it's a really great, very heartrending moment, and as an actor, it's that kind of moment I live for in the booth where I'm like, it really hit me. Man, the first time we really get to see Tenya, it's also really fun to get to play, like, to have a scene where your character is so perfectly summed up in that moment that you're like, that's him. That's my reference point for everything else I do in this show. And it's when he's on top of the exit sign telling everyone to calm down. It's perfect. It's just him. Even the getting there is like, he's like so Tenya. It's like he's good. He's a little extra, but he's good. He's good people. He's best boy. And that's one of my favorites because we were just cracking up the entire time.
He's a little extra, yeah.
Yeah.
Understatement of the...
He's a little extra.
He's a type A personality.
Slightly kind of like myself.
Yeah. Typecasting. I think there's too many favorite scenes to choose one favorite scene, but I will say that I really enjoy it when anytime Aizawa has caused Bakugo to be angry. You know, most specifically when I remember he threw the electronic baseball thing that measures distance, and then he thought it was very impressive, and then Aizawa was kind of like, "Why don't you get good?" You know. And then when he came back the second time, he's like basically proving that you guys have not taken your quirks to the next level. And I love that it was Bakugo that was basically called out for that. That was sweet. Mwah, chef's kiss. That was just great.
I think all of us love anything that can make Bakugo upset. We just live to see him angry. Because I'm like, yeah, please, take him
I
on.
live
It's great.
through
He
it,
deserves
because I live vicariously through it. I'm not allowed to be that angry in real life. Considered like rude or detrimental or hey, get therapy, Caitlin. But you know, Bakugo can be that angry.
Yeah, he's anger management. Yeah.
Joseph, thank you very much for your question.
Thanks for that question.
For being the first
Question, yes, for the first, how about a round of applause for Joseph, this brave gentleman.
Let's go Straw Hats.
It's tough to be the first one. And who do we have next?
I'm Lee, and my question is, other than your own characters, who are your favorites?
Shinso. Yes! I love him! He just wants to be a hero, and one day he will be. I'm calling it now, he will be one day. I love him so much.
Oh, God, it's a toss-up between Deku, who I think is just extremely relatable, and Todoroki, who's just like the coolest, pun intended. But he's a great character. I love Todoroki. It's awesome.
I will say that I want to see a lot more from Tokoyami at some point. I feel like there's a lot there, and I have questions about his parents too. I want to see his parents. Do they have bird heads, for example? But I love Tokoyami. I think he's maybe the most powerful, you know, even compared to potentially Todoroki, who's incredibly overpowered. But I also just love his character, so I like him a lot.
I love Bakugo. Love him. I think, yeah, I knew what your question was going to be, and I pre-answered it by talking about it before. Love Bakugo. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. What's your name?
Julian.
What's your question?
My question is actually for you. What did you think when you got the role of Eraserhead?
Well, that's a good segue, actually, because, so for those of you who don't know, the first season of My Hero Academia, there's a different actor who is the voice of Eraserhead. It's a gentleman named Alex Organ, an incredibly talented actor, who had a difficult decision to make about whether he was going to be able to pursue simul-dubbing anime acting, basically after animation, versus this incredible opportunity he had to be a theater director in Dallas. And so he made the choice, I'm very glad he did, to step away from the role, and to step away really from all of these roles. And then at that point there was an audition process. My audition was one of the most nerve-wracking things I've ever done. And yet I think, and I walked away from it 100% convinced I did not get the part, which just goes to show you how little I know about myself, I guess. I don't know. But when I found out that I got the role, I was over the moon excited because I'd already seen season 1 and I saw what was by far my favorite character. I'm a comic book fan, so I grew up with Marvel Comics, and then at a certain point I remember when I read my first Batman comic, and I was like, whoa, this is the best comic I've ever read in my life. So I really love Batman, and I feel like in a way, Aizawa is sort of the sleepy Batman of the My Hero Academia universe, and so to get a chance to be that character was just amazing. It was just amazing. So that was the long answer. The short answer is, it's amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Hi, welcome. What's your name?
Logan Holbert.
Welcome. What's your question?
Barring any event that have already taken place, who would you most want to see the character you voice go up against?
Who would we want to see the character we voice go up against?
Yeah.
Go up against?
Barring any, I think,
Barring someone that
spoilers
you've already-
or someone
barring
you've already, or don't give something away. Okay.
I mean, I've got a quick answer, and it's just like I want to see Tenya go up against Stain and Sinjinio, like in the full, like assuming the role of his brother. That's what I want to see. I don't know that it'll ever happen, but it better.
So, go up against a villain in My Hero Academia. Or any universe, or how specific are we gonna be?
Yeah, is it just in My Hero Academia or any villain at all anywhere?
We're widening.
I don't know.
I have an answer.
I don't know.
Well, now I want to hear both.
Okay, both. Let's do both.
Yeah,
So
let's do both.
do you have an answer for?
Okay, so I'm staying within the universe, and without
It's kind of tough.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
They're not a villain though.
Then pick.
They have the same color scheme.
Yeah.
That'd be really funny. But I feel like Tenya's ultimate villain needs to be someone who's really slow, like the snail thing, like
Juggernaut.
the tortoise.
Juggernaut. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
The immovable force. I think within the universe, I would love to have seen, first I'll say this and then I'll add a caveat. I don't know what Eraserhead was doing during the time that they were fighting All for One. Was he just taking a nap? I don't know. But I do feel like that fight would be very short. Because I suppose he would just turn his quirks off and punch him in the face, and that's the end of that fight. Now he'd have some trouble with the Nomu, right? You can't turn off their quirk. But All for One, I think you can just turn the quirk off and then sort of just kick him in the head, and then it's over. So that's probably why he didn't show up, if you really think about it. But because it's not great for the story. And then maybe outside of, gosh, it'd be cool if Eraserhead could fight Darth Vader. Because there again, I feel like a lot of his power comes from his quote-unquote quirk, being a Sith Lord, right? So if you could turn that off and then just punch him in the face, what a great fight that would be. It would.
Okay, in the My Hero universe, I guess All for One, 13 going up against All for One, because it's easy, their quirk is black hole. They just suck them through a black hole. They turn to dust and they're gone, and we don't have to worry about them anymore. Yay! But outside of the My Hero universe, I'm a huge Voltron fan. Yes! So I would love to see 13 go up against Zarkon, because 13's the space hero and Voltron is in space. So let's take out Voltron together, right? Or not Voltron, let's work with Voltron to take out Zarkon. No, we're the good guys, I promise you. We can't take down Voltron. Calm down. We are the champions. We're gonna take down Zarkon together, right? That's the plan. I promise you, I'm not a bad guy. I'm a good guy.
It's a hero on Earth, but in space.
No.
Am I supposed to pick like a bad guy, a villain in the My Hero universe?
You can pick whoever.
Okay,
It's your answer.
how I can't remember his name. I'm so mean. What's Kyle's character?
Oh, Kaminari.
He annoys me so much. He's so Nina probably wouldn't like him either. I know, because I play her. So I feel like she secretly is just like nice to him because she has to be, but she really is like, I hate that guy. Yeah, she wants to beat him up in an alley. That's what I think. And then I'm going to throw it to you guys. Who in the world of everything should Nina go up against?
No. I got that one.
Sonic, no, maybe. What?
Wait, you think I'm not going to
Oh, the alien queen! Yeah, she's the alien queen.
So maybe, I don't know, E.T.? I don't know, some kind
She fights E.T. What's wrong with you?
I'm just joking, that's the first alien that came to mind. Just take him out.
I thought you meant the alien queen, like from Alien.
Yeah, from him.
Oh,
Which is why
that's a
she
better
can't
answer.
be called that, because you don't want to be sued.
Yeah.
No, I made a joke saying E.T. Don't beat up E.T.
Don't be
do
on
it.
E.T., you
Don't
guys.
do it.
Just don't.
Don't do it.
Beat up the creature from Mac and Me.
Oh, wow. Nostalgia.
That horrifying.
Has anybody
seen Mac
Anyone seen Mac and Me?
All five of you.
Oh
Great.
yeah, all five of you. I'm sorry. You were the ones. Okay.
Thank you for your
Sorry.
question.
Thank
Yeah,
you
that
very
was a
much.
fun question.
What's up, Miriam?
Love the cosplay.
What's your name?
Dylan,
Welcome. What's your question?
if you could voice another character in the show, who would you voice?
All of
Wait, that
That's
makes
my answer, dang it.
Yeah. I think I got this, but you and I did, we did a con, Mr. Tatum and I did a con. Where was that? I don't remember where we were. But anyway, we got this question and I sort of gave him, you went into a long discussion about, and very correct discussion about, he was like, you know, it's really, you can't choose other people because they're really the ones that have been cast and everybody's cast for a reason and, you know, and he was a very good answer. And then it got to me and I just said, Ida.
I was like, he's all of
Yeah, I'll do it back to you then. I think that, it's hard. It's fun to be villains. It's fun to do bad things. Anybody remember that meme? So gosh, I think Stain is awesome. I think he's like such a cool character. I would love to take a shot at Stain.
I'm so triggered right now.
That's even worse than saying Ida.
I'm always reluctant to answer because I do feel like once everyone kind of settles into their roles, it's really hard to think about myself in any other role or of any other character being voiced by anyone other than them being voiced by. But it would have been a lot of fun, though I would not be nearly as amazing as Chris Sabat in the role of All Might because I just love that character. I think All Might is just a wonderful creation and hysterically funny, but really good and warm at the same time. But I mean, come on, who's gonna, like Chris was born to play that role. So that's just a pipe dream on my part. But I would love to be able to push it as good as Chris did.
That's a good way to put it.
So I'm on TikTok, and I do a lot of videos, and a lot of people see my videos, and they know I'm in My Hero Academia, but they always assume I voice for Momo, right? And because apparently I look like her? I don't know. They're like, oh, it's the hair. I'm like, do you voice for Momo? And I'm like, no,
I don't look like our characters. That's what's great about voice acting.
We don't?
Exactly.
No.
And so
Some
I just,
stones.
a part of me kind of wishes, you know, if I was Mo, then I wouldn't have to correct them. I wouldn't have to be like, no, it's not, no. Like, I'd just say yes. Or I wouldn't even have to answer.
Okay.
You did that.
Okay.
It's your fault. You're still
They don't like
you're still
the
pausing this.
Is it, or is it my phone? Like on the ceiling? Okay, anyway, Minetta.
Yes! Yes! That deserves an applause. I like that. Thank you! Yes! He's hilarious! He is really funny. He's so funny!
Listen, just don't say it 3 times because then you summon him.
Okay, got it. It's been spoken once
Like
in a panel.
Beetlejuice.
Don't you do it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Hi, welcome. What's your name?
My name is Audra.
Hello.
I have 2 questions actually.
Okay.
My first one is, if you guys had your own quirk, what would they be and what would your hero name be?
I have a real quirk. I do. I have a quirk, and my wife hates it, drives her crazy. The quirk is that I can just fall asleep. That's actually true. And I do. Here's what I do. I go, what time is it? Okay, it's about 11 o'clock. What day is it? It's Tuesday. What do I have to do tomorrow? I got a voice act. I got to take the kids to school, and then I got a voice act. Okay, I'm gonna go to sleep. And then I just lay down on a bed and I go, and I'm asleep like that. Like it's that easy and wonder. I know it really is a quirk. So
You just shut down.
I do. God, it's like a reboot. It's like a hard reboot. Yeah.
I have that quirk, but it's waking up.
Not as fun. So I would call myself Sleepy Man, I think. The sleeper. I don't know.
I have no quirk at all, and I'm pretty sure I couldn't be relied upon to have one responsibly. I would misuse it. So I'm going to answer the way that Brittany Karbowski, I did a panel with her, and this is my favorite answer, and Brittany does it way more justice than I do, but she said, my quirk is I want to be able to throw my farts. Not like literally throw them, but like you feel one coming on, and maybe you just don't like the cut of that person's jib over there, so you just, and they smell it. And no one else. So you're able to like ventriloquialize your farts. And I expanded on this and thought, that's really good, but I think a really humanitarian thing would be, what if you could make your farts smell really nice? Like, you're in an elevator and suddenly everyone's like, oh, blueberry muffins. Or something. It would be really nice. And so I think that's the quirk I want. It's not gonna save the world, but it will make it a little nicer. And I guess, I don't know what I'd name myself.
I don't either.
What would that hero be? Fartman? Nah, that's a villain name. Fartman, let's call him,
Pleasant Fartman.
we'll call him the Cloud.
Can I expand on this quirk idea? This is great, but what if you could throw your fart through time?
You can throw a fart at Adolf Hitler, you know?
Yes!
Yeah. Make
Okay, I take it back. That is a hero thing.
Yes.
Awesome. That would be awesome.
It's like
And also
you
in
have
the future, like there's no more farts and everybody's just like a human cyborg, and then you're just on a future elevator and you're like, why does it smell like cheese pizza?
You're welcome. Off I go into the black
Future
hole.
generations, I have thrown my fart to you.
Throw all the farts.
How do I love it. Sorry, I didn't mean to just take the room down.
I love it.
That was good. I feel like my quirk is really simple. I'm afraid of heights. And everyone says, well, you're not afraid of heights, you're just afraid of falling. And so I'm like, oh, okay, smarty. Well, in that case, then I guess if I had the quirk of flight, then I wouldn't be afraid of falling because I could just fly, you know? So I feel like that'd be convenient, but also like, you know, I wouldn't need to wait in traffic. I could just fly over it. Wouldn't that be great? As far as a hero name, I don't know. What?
Bug.
Wait, hugs? Hugs? Bug? Oh, I don't like bugs.
Let's call you Icarus.
Icarus. I like it. I just won't fly too close to the sun.
That's true. Let's see. I have a really strange quirk, but I just want this to be my quirk because it would help a lot in life. I would like to be able to feel comfortable no matter the temperature around me. Always, no matter where I am. And I thought about this more the last time I was asked. The way I'm able to do that is that I take comfort from the people around me. So like, like if I'm fighting like one-on-one, like how would doing that be beneficial as a fighter? It's like, well, I can make my opponent feel extremely hot or extremely cold. Yeah, and I'd be the regulator.
That's good.
Okay, so I want to kind of build on this question for a second because I really like it. I know you have a second one. So what was your second question?
My other question is for you, Tatum. It's actually a request. Can you please do the Cruising for Hot Girls line?
The what? The what one?
The line where Ida is like in the disguise.
What does he say exactly in that when he's dressed like the bad guy from Annie. What does he look like? It's the funniest.
Rooster.
I love
Rooster
it.
from Annie. Yeah,
Rooster's the bad guy for me.
He's just read. What does he say or something? We're just thugs. We're
Cruising for girls?
cruising for hot chicks. Totally sounds.
I think the line went for just a few scoundrels cruising for hot girls.
Scoundrels.
Oh, Scout, of course. That wasn't a dead giveaway at all. But it's Ida. We're just a few scoundrels cruising for hot girls.
Thank you too.
Like we scoundrels do.
Thank you.
I can also see him carrying on, like, you there, are you a hot girl? Very good, come with us. Like, that's how we would just ask people. Are you the thing that I should be hitting on? Because that's Ida. At least he's asking. I mean, at least it's nice to ask.
It's important, yeah.
So, thank you.
Thank
very
you.
much.
Hello, welcome.
Hi,
What's your name?
Blake.
Hello, what is your question?
Okay, I'm gonna call someone out real quick. My friend behind me thinks Ida, or sorry, not Ida, I was thinking Ida. Minetta is the worst character.
Okay.
Minetta's my favorite. What do you guys think of Minetta?
I've already stated my opinion about Minetta. That he is best boy. No, he's not. What did she say? Oh yeah, that's true. There probably is a reason they didn't show inside Minetta's room. Yeah. No, I just like him as a character. Like if Minetta was a real person, oh no.
He's going to appear.
Oh, we said, oh.
No, we're having Anime Con. Like every fifth person is Minetta.
Minetta's always here,
Just joking.
guys.
I'm joking, y'all.
That's the thing,
Not
he's
you.
always here staring at us and drooling. He's somewhere in here.
He's here.
He's been here the whole time.
He's here. No, I think as a character, he's a great addition to the ensemble. Like he's great,
funny.
and he's funny. That's what I mean. Like a
And I
real
do-
person like Minetta is a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, and realize that's a
Terrible.
problem.
As a real person, I mean, like, cool. I'll watch a character like that on screen, but I don't want to hang out with him because I kind of maybe it's me. Maybe I'm too much like Ida myself, but I don't want to hang out with people I couldn't bring home to my mom, and I would not bring Minetta home to my mom.
He would hit on your mom.
Yes, and I would kill him
For sure. I do think in a weird way though that Minetta is overpowered. I think his quirk is actually very, very powerful. And I think because he is comic relief, this is kind of my nerdy perspective on it. Because he is comic relief, we haven't really had the opportunity to see what can be done with it. Like, I'm pretty sure those things are indestructible. Like what else is indestructible in this universe? Nothing that we've seen so far as I know.
So the sticky balls are indestructible.
I think they are. And so
Let's test that theory. In the
Well, I
show.
would like to, at some point for him to be redeemed, because that's what so he's a character that we all get to agree that we hate, and I understand you don't agree with that, but everybody, that's why he's in the show. He's like, oh, this guy, right? And he's also comic relief. But I would like to see him get redeemed at some point where actually he saves the day somehow, because his quirk is incredibly overpowered, I think. Maybe.
I just really like Brina's voice for him. I love the lisp. It was a beautiful,
That's
great idea.
I try to do that voice all the time, but it's really like.
I just want to hear Minetta talk just because I love the lisp.
So great.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you
very welcome.
Minetta.
That's 6 times. Hello, what's your name?
I'm Liz.
Welcome.
So my question for you guys is, of your characters, what is your guys' favorite ship for each of your characters?
I always say, so this is the question of any panel that I get, that I always try to make everyone angry with me. Yeah, I do. And you know what, I've refined it. This started out as an experiment and it became an art. So now I'm going to say the ship that will make almost everyone in this room shout in anger. Are you ready?
What is it?
Are you ready? And you're gonna be like, you know that guy, the voice of Eraserhead? He was a good guy, I thought. And then, okay, so here's my favorite ship. Endeavor and Deku's mom. Yeah.
You monster.
Wow, you just made an enemy of everyone in
I
this
know,
room.
it's so great.
Why?
That's a new
Well,
clip.
if Endeavor was a good father, maybe, but
It's so objectively awful. I know.
it's awful.
I mean, they said in the show that his father did have
I thought I knew him, and now I just don't know him at all. I will tell you that one guy.
One guy. Wait, so is this does it have to be a ship with a character we voice, or can it be just a ship?
Both.
Both? It could be both, okay.
I honestly, I can't picture Tenya with anybody. It's just, he's too all business. He's too, like, uptight. Maybe down the road when he's an adult, I can see him being a wonderful husband to a crossing guard or a TSA agent. But like, right now, he's just focused on stuff. I can't really ship him with anybody.
You don't think that he would be like, that aspect of him could be completely disarmed by suddenly like being Twitter-pated by some
Maybe,
character?
I think
male,
that would be
female,
wonderful.
whatever.
I don't know who that might be. I can't think of it. I relate to Ida so much that I can't really think right now. I just can't think about those sorts of things, guys. I have work to do. So I can't imagine a character that would make him go, oh, okay, maybe I'll relax a little bit.
No, I don't even think that whoever it is would have to make him be anything less than it is. It's more like, he's just like, I feel something different when I'm around this person, and then he'd be very concerned about whatever that is. And, yeah.
Okay, you're selling me on this idea now, Deb.
Yeah, I don't know who the character would be.
I don't know. I can't.
Somebody who thinks that his uptightness is kind of charming and
It would have to be
cute.
someone really unlikely.
He would not think uptightness is charming. No.
I'm not gonna lie, that would be hilarious. Can you just imagine, like, I just want to see that scene where he's like finally tells him, I don't know how to come up with this, but I'm just gonna tell you I like you more than a friend. And Bakugo was like, me too! It would be a very angry relationship, a lot of shouting.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Are you fighting? No, we're just having a conversation. I love the
It
idea
could
of
happen.
Bakugo now. I'm shipping Tenya and Bakugo.
Fanart, get on it. You heard it here, fanart, you guys.
Thank you for walking me through that journey. I could have let him down.
Nice. I can't picture anyone with 13. I just can't. But if we're talking about any ship, I love Kirishima and Bakugo. I think that, they're best friends. And I love that, and I'd love to see them together. That'd be super cute.
I think Mina would be great with somebody that she could like annoy a lot, like Aoyama, or but then I also wonder, like, maybe if she's an alien, is she even attracted to, like, because I don't honestly know her background, like, is she a human with a quirk? Is she truly from space? Like, what's her deal? Is she into guys? Is she into girls?
Maybe
I don't know.
13.
Maybe 13. That's gonna be my answer. Yeah? Yeah, that's my answer.
Cool.
We don't know what 13 looks like in there.
We don't. It's a mystery.
13 is Mina's parent. I'm not even gonna say mom or dad.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You are her hatchling. They're hatchling.
I like it.
I like that. That's a cool theory.
I will say, despite trolling everyone, my real answer, I think, is that, and I'll say it as Aizawa. I only have time for my sleeping bag. I think he's in love with the sleeping bag if he's in love with anything at all. Thank you so much for your question.
Well done.
Yeah, that was fun.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
I just want to know if there was a scene that was particularly challenging for you guys to act out.
Yes. During the not the sports festival, during the joint training exercise, Aizawa is running through the forest with a little boy in his arms named Koda. Who, by the way, I saw somebody post online the other day, tangent, his power is shooting out water. What a great sidekick he would be, because he'd just shoot the water into his eyes all the time and his eyes would not get dry, right? That needs to happen. Anyway, there's a scene where he's running through the forest and Aizawa has these very brief moments of showing sort of who he is on the inside and his dad Zawa side, if you will. And he's a stoic character, so these moments, we try to treat them as lovingly as we can. But we're running through a forest holding a child. And it's a very serious, dangerous situation that these characters are in, while at the same time, he is reassuring this child. Koda's scared. And so this is a moment where you see Eraserhead open up, and while he's running. So running in the booth is this thing that you do where you breathe really hard, you match your mouth to the breathing exerts of the character on the screen, and you try not to pass out. And it was, yeah, it's challenging. So it was the difficult part was, and calling in, I did it probably 8 times, which is a lot in our world. Like, that's a lot. We have to go fast. We're like Sonic. And I got to the 8th one, and I kind of stopped, and she kind of stopped, and I was like, please don't recast me. I promise I can get this. Like, we're gonna get this. She's like, we're gonna get this. And we got it. We got something that we both sort of felt like comfortable with by the end of it. But it was like either I would get the running dead on and we'd nail it, and then my delivery was just not quite as sweet as it could have been, or my delivery was dead on and the technicalities of the breaths were not quite right, and it was back and forth and back and forth, and we got it. But that was it. That was challenging.
Yeah, I can. Having to spin all those plates for a take is really hard. There's a lot of technical things like that you don't think about, and you don't often know you're going to face them until you're there and you're like, oh, let's find out if I can do this. But for me, the hardest was one of the most. I have a tendency to get really, really swept up in the emotional moment if my character's feeling something. Like if they're crying, I'm usually really crying. It's not fake tears. It's I just get really. I try to be very present in the booth. So if I'm there, then whatever's happening to the character is happening to me. But it's not often that I'll have a situation where I'm both feeling what the character is going through, like whatever's going through them is hitting me like a Mack truck. But at the same time, I am being hit with, why are they doing this? I don't like that they're doing this. Why? And which is me on the outside, is Michael going, why are you making that choice? Why are you doing that? Are you an idiot? And I felt that way about Tenya in the stain art when he was doing what he was doing. I totally understood why he did it. I got it. I got really involved. But when it finally reaches that kind of perfect dramatic climax where he is, paralyzed. And I mean, let's face it. Like he's one of the most uptight, rule-following characters to the point where he's kind of like a mother hen to everyone else in the gang. He's like, you've got to stay in line. You've got to do this. And yet he, for completely personal reasons, is now putting himself in a position where his friends are about to die because of a stupid decision he made. It was totally the decision I think any of us would have made in that circumstance. But for the first time, I think we see Tenya overwhelmed by an emotional circumstance. And it was really hard for me to watch him do that because I kept going, I don't want to see him do this, I don't want to see him do this, I don't want to watch this. And then when the worst is about to happen and he's paralyzed and he just says the words like, I don't want to watch this because his friends are about to get killed by Stan. That was hard. I was having a moment with, and I was like, Cliff, who's Bakugo was directing for Colleen that afternoon. And he was like, yeah, this is going to be really, really crazy, really cool. And I'm like, awesome. And I just started kind of like, man, I gotta take a second. This is really hard to process. I keep splitting. And, but we finally got to that moment and just kind of, I love the moments where you can just sort of have a line in front of you. And I don't often look at the lines until it's time to say them. I'll kind of just watch the scene and have a rough idea of what's going on. And then the words just come and then, oh, cool, that's what I'm saying. It gives it kind of almost an improv feel. I don't know. But when I do that, every now and again, you'll look at the words and be like, that's exactly what I want to say. So when I'm saying, as Ida, I don't want to watch this, or I can't watch this, that was just me as Tatum going, I can't watch what's happening to my characters right now, which is perfect for Ida, for what he's going through. And it wasn't technically challenging, certainly not on par with what you had to contend with, but it's that moment where like, man, sometimes it's too much.
Challenging in a different way.
Yeah, and you're just like, ooh, I gotta step away from this, because sometimes you walk away with a little, not to trivialize it, but sometimes when you're in the moment like that, when your character's going through something, you walk away and it feels like it happened to you. Your brain doesn't always know how to parse it out, and you're like, no, that was make-believe, that was just an acting job, and it's why actors need therapy. Anyone that goes into acting because they think it's therapy, don't. It's not therapeutic at all. It requires therapy, I think, to do without, losing yourself. But that was a hard moment for me because it's just so out of the way for Tenya to go that way. It's great. I thought it made great drama. It's one of the many reasons I love the show. But whew, that was a go home and have a drink and go to sleep kind of moment.
So, yeah, that was a really good answer.
Thank you.
Nice. A difficult scene that we had trouble voicing. For 13, not really. I didn't really have any intense emotional scenes, I don't think. I mean, there were a few, like, really active scenes, like where 13, everyone thinks that they died, but they didn't, they're cool. But there was a scene in particular where it wasn't difficult for me, but it was very, like, I don't know, what's the word? It gave me the feels. Is that a good way to say it? The feels. You know, when 13 steps in front of the students and says, you know, this is what it means to be a real hero, you know, saving people, rescuing people. I got chills. That's a good word for it. I got the chills and I was like, ooh, yeah, I like this line. Like, I love this character. This is awesome. So yeah, for me, that was a really cool moment, but I wouldn't say any of the scenes in particular for 13 were difficult though, because it's more of my natural voice. I didn't really have too much trouble with that. Plus, they don't show up too often, but I love their character a lot. They're cool.
I pass.
Okay, we have 15 minutes left, so thank you for your question.
Thank you.
I think what we should do is start trying to move through these in a lightning round sort of fashion. So we can try.
I'll stop talking.
I'm just as guilty as you
Try
are.
and do like first thing that comes to mind with one sentence.
Yeah.
Knock them out. Let's do this Twitter style.
Yes.
All right, well, I might have a good one for you. So I'm pretty much into D&D and stuff, so your character's who you voice act for. What class do you think they would play as?
Yeah, class. I guess maybe Eraserhead would be like a sorcerer. He only has kind of one sort of thing. Like sorcerers have maybe like one or two spells that they have tons of. And they also have like a lot of charisma. It's weird, he has like reverse anti-charisma, but somehow it works to his benefit. So I think sorcerer.
Scout, like I think you just go and like get stuff.
For some reason, the word paladin comes to mind. I don't know why, but that's my answer.
You can go to space.
Yeah, see? Yes, I like that.
A bard.
Yeah.
I think so. It's kind of a mood setter.
So loud too.
It's so loud.
We've got a good group right here.
Yes.
Let's go on an adventure, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi.
Out of all the villains, except All for One, because that would be too easy of an answer, who do you think would have the most useful quirk as a hero?
Ooh. That's a hard one, actually. Maybe twice. Maybe twice.
I think if we could turn overhaul, I think he'd be great.
Yeah, he's pretty useful.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say overall.
I mean, I always thought that 13's quirk in particular could really help clean up the earth. You know, the earth has a bunch of trash on it, you know? But you know what 13 could do? Suck it through the black hole, it turns to dust, and it's gone. You know me
But you're not a villain.
It's true.
No,
The
you're
question
right.
was a villain, right?
Oh, a villain?
A villain whose quirk would make them
Oh,
a
never
good
mind
hero.
then. Dang it. He's so useful and helpful, though. Oh, well, I can't think of a villain quirk.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name's Jared. Walker was my favorite character, and I think deep down he would be more of an overprotective boyfriend. What female class 1A do you think would be able to get in touch with him?
Uberaka.
Tanya.
Okay, I'll jump on that.
Can you ask that question again?
Like, who do you think, of the females of class 1A, who do you think would be able to get in touch with his romance?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say gravity.
I think Mina.
That's what I was gonna say.
I
Like
think
me?
Mina and Bakugo, if they ever like made out, would potentially destroy the whole school if you think about it.
All the acid and like
Acid and explosive sweat.
Yeah.
I actually shipped that one for a while.
Me too.
Did you?
Love about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Mina.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I'm Helena.
Hello.
Hi, I just want to know, is there a difference between like us, like your fan base is my heroes, and
Well, I think for me the answer is just the difference between My Hero Academia and everything else. My Hero Academia, I guess people hoped it would be this big, but I'm not sure that people really knew that it was going to be this big, you know? And gosh, it's big. I mean, it's real popular. There are people I talk to who, I'm a dad, and so I talk to other dads, kids that come over to the house, or my kids go over to their house. My kids are on a baseball team, so like other dads on the baseball team. Dads who are like, and I don't want to disparage accountants here, but like they're accountants or they do a lot of other jobs that have nothing to do with the entertainment industry. Yet they're like, are you in that My Hero thing? You do that? I've never seen it before, but my son says it's real cool. And are you the hobo guy in that show? They don't know anything else I've ever done, you know what I mean? But they know My Hero. So that's for me, that's the biggest difference of all. It's like My Hero's in a different world than all the rest of it.
That's the big difference for me too. It's so popular that it seems to just contain everybody. And not to disparage any other fandoms out there, because I've encountered a few, but like the My Hero crowd seems to be like they've really absorbed the lesson of the show, if there is one. And you guys are so nice with each other. And like every time we're at a convention, like promoting My Hero, like the fans are super polite and they'll make friends with people in our lives and help out any way they can. Not that that doesn't happen with other fandoms, but I mean, for being so huge, I'm really amazed at how just super nice all of you are.
So thank you.
So thank you. Thank you.
I'm just gonna agree with their answers to keep to the lightning round.
Ditto.
Yeah.
Chris and I are not doing
Same.
well with
We're
the
not-
layout.
I'm the one who said it, and I'm talking
Next
too much.
question.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have a question for Edgeworth.
Yes.
Can you shout objection?
You want one objection? All right. Objection!
Thanks, man.
I don't have too many of those in the tank. Yes.
Hi, I'm Kira, and I was wondering, between the heroes and the students, who do you think would be most likely on both sides to be a traitor?
Ooh, traitor.
I say this every time. Hagakure, we don't know anything about her. She's invisible.
So true.
We don't know what the heck she's up to at any point in time.
Okay, I
Hagakure
agree.
could be a
I
middle-aged
agree.
man, and we would have no idea.
We don't know.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Same.
I'm gonna go with that.
Yes.
Also, naval laser Rafina.
What's that?
Naval laser Rafina.
Aoyama.
Naval laser. That's who you should. Nice.
Hi, welcome.
Hi. How do you think that you would deal with having more characters like personally in your life?
I would get so much done. God.
I want to change the quirk because other people don't have quirks, right? But if I had the ability to just take away people's power, right? Whatever their power is, maybe their power is that they have $1 billion, or maybe their power is that they just are very condescending and mean, or maybe their power is that they're very kind and nice. I can take it away from all of them. I don't know. That would be awful. My answer is that'd be terrible.
Again, I would love to have my quirk. I walk pretty fast anyway, but man, there's never enough time.
I feel like 13's quirk could either be wholesome or evil. Terrifying, yeah. So I feel like I would use the black hole to clean up the earth and you do something good with it,
Similarly, I guess I could use my power for good, and like we have a major problem with trash on this planet. I could melt it with some acid. Or I could become a drug dealer and be very, very rich.
That's where the money is. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I would like your thoughts on 3 little different things.
Oh,
First
hurry,
one,
hurry.
They're really quick and simple. Bakugo and therapy. Your
Yes.
thoughts?
That's a bumper sticker.
Very necessary thing.
That should happen.
Anger management, definitely.
Yes.
The second thing is Aizawa and a nap.
He should have that every day.
And the third one is Mike and a cough drop.
He should have that every day.
I think 3 times a day for each of these things you've mentioned would be very helpful.
To be safe.
3 therapies, 3 naps,
Yes.
3 cough drops.
If you were to turn each student in class 1A into a cat, who do you think would be Mr. Aizawa's favorite?
If
If we were all a cat,
We're all cats.
Which cat would be the favorite one?
God, I've never had that
So
one.
which
Almost all the
cat
questions I've
is
had before. I've
chosen
never
the
had.
Jellicle Ball for new life? Okay.
Minetta would be a sticky cat. That's out. Bakugo would be a really mean, scratchy cat. That's out. The cellotape guy would be a tape cat. That's out.
That's out.
Ida would be so fast you'd never catch the cat to snuggle with it. That's out.
True.
He would also be meowing at you every time something was out of place.
Mina would be a pink cat.
Maybe Mina. I think that's the answer.
But an acid cat.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait, yeah, that's not
Your furniture would be ruined.
What a Deku cat? It would just be super snuggly.
The answer's Deku.
Cute, dead cat. I like that.
Cat.
Freckles and everything.
I like all of your characters, so what was your favorite voice line?
Favorite what line?
What's your favorite line? Eraserhead has a line that he delivers almost in every single episode that he's in, and it's my favorite line, and here it is.
I feel ashamed that this is my favorite line, but it is. A punch to the scrotum is unforgivable!
You go next.
I don't know. I can't remember anything that Mina says except for my reference line, which is Midoriya dodged it. That's it. That's all I can ever remember that she's ever said. I'm sorry. I failed. I'll work on it, you guys. A favorite one?
Well, the only thing I can remember is black hole. That's all I remember.
Thank you.
I'm back.
You're back.
And could you each say something stupid or ridiculous in your character voices?
Oh, I already got that one covered. You guys go.
Welcome to the Great British Baking Challenge.
A punch to the scrotum is unforgivable.
Well, now I want to say that.
Go for it.
A punch to the scrotum is unforgivable.
But I really like Minetta.
Thank you. All right, our last question of the evening.
I'm Emily. Hi. What was the most interesting scene you guys had to voice act?
That's like our first question, too. I think it's the first
We've come
question.
full circle.
Okay. Back at the beginning, you guys. The panel's starting all over.
Welcome to My Hero Academia panel. No, that's. I'll say that. How about this? I'll give you the worst, the scene I didn't like the most, and that was really the one where Aizawa is he's in the midst of battle, and he seems to just give up sometimes. There are moments where I sort of feel like you look in his eyes and you realize like he'd rather just be taking a nap right now. Like as much as he cares, there's another part of him that's kind of just like, look at the time. I could be basically living in my dumpster behind the gas station right now. Like, sometimes he doesn't care enough for me, I think.
Yeah, I think for me it it goes back to the Ida scene when he's on top of the exit sign telling everyone, like, calm down. I love that moment for him. Because it's so him. It is him to an absolute T, like, perfectly summed up.
Favorite scene? Well, I'm just glad that 13 survived the battle in season 1. So, yay! Spoiler alert, they're alive!
I can't really think of one from Mina, but just a fun anecdote that I have from the show is a time that we had to record a trailer for an upcoming season, and normally, like Colleen, the director, also the voice of Momo, she would direct that kind of stuff, but she was out or busy. So they're like, Caitlin, it's only about 4 characters that are in the thing, and one is Bakugo, and Cliff's already going to be in your room today for something else. So could you get this line? I'm like, yeah, no problem. So I told him, I said, Cliff, you've got like one line, I'm not really sure what it is. He's like, it's probably die or I'll kill you. And I'm like, I don't know, I haven't even looked at it yet. So we open up the trailer, and his line is, die, with the alt of, I'll kill you. Yeah, so it's either one of those 2 things. Yeah.
Thank you for your question, and thank you for coming to the panel.
Oh, you're too sweet. Awesome. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, have a great con. It's only Friday. We have 2 more days